Put him in the sink. I tweeted that motherfucker out. Let me pull up. Okay, there we go. Because what I need is that mod view. I like the mod view. Yeah, we're doing that. Yeah, I like that. Is it being read on your phone?
What you doing?
Oh no, I can see it now. Put him in the sink. There we go. Yes, sir, Abdel. What's good, my dude? What's happening? Okay, why can't I see the picture? Did I do something? Well, I could see it on my phone. I can't see it on my mod view. By the way, if anyone could come up with a good name for the podcast, go ahead. But for now, it's frame one. I'm good, man. I'm just chilling. Had a pretty eventless day. It just kind of existed, you know, one of those days. You just kind of exist. What's up, Yus?
What's up? I wish I had that type of day.
You come in to talk about
What
video
you know
games?
about me? Exactly. No, actually, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, let's hear your opinions.
Yeah, let him rock.
My opinion. Oh,
Somebody followed. I heard the sound effect.
yeah.
Hey, Blizzard Tempest. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was. That's what I was about to. I was best about talk about that too. You know, get my thoughts. Huh? Hold on, my bedtime calling me.
Oh shoot, what's going on? Or what's up, Danny? You know what? Like, have you ever used that name before? I don't even know if you ever used that name before. But yeah, this is gonna be like the first episode of our quote unquote video game podcast that's gonna be here. Oh, he's in the chat. He could have chilled the call. I didn't mind. He could have just been chilling here. But yeah, I'm having alright. I got some stuff on my chest. I gotta get off my chest, so it's gonna be fun. What's up, Lizard? Cause listen, my mind was kind of blown open a little bit today. I gotta pull up the stuff because I'm not gonna remember everything piece by piece. But yeah. By the way, Simi, I think I asked you, but was there anything you want to add, or are you good? We'll just kind of go with the flow type of thing for the first one.
Yeah, I told. Besides that one thing I just told you,
Okay.
get in the fucking chair. Yeah, we good.
All right. Breath of the Wild is the first video game ever made. Did you want to start there?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, start there. You started off for us. Don't tell Simi. So, Griever, how you doing, man? Do I have Nightbot set up yet? I don't know what that is. So, you tell me and I'll have it sorted out. Maybe I can get it done now or for another time. Let it know. But, all right. I don't know what the intro's gonna be. Just imagine some latest sound effects. Then the shit, there's the intro. Oh shit, shit's happening. And then now the podcast started. So what's going on? Here with Simi. Yes, sir. How you doing? How you doing, man? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, I thought you didn't say anything. Stream
Nah,
on
you
Wednesday
hear
so
me?
I can drop subs that cost money. I can stream on Wednesday. You should be able to find it in OBS or stream settings. I mean, I'll look, but again, you can't trust me.
You don't know what you're looking for.
Badger!
Help!
Exactly, yeah. Imagine I got no time to parlay unless it's big checks and parlays. Constellation with the constellations. They said the world was in a dark phase. Call me Desperado for protection. Gary Biggs trapping the guitar case. All right, intro. So, Okay, so I don't know if you guys have really seen a lot of this stuff, but like Breath of the Wild, since it's come out, has become like kind of like the gold standard for like open world games. So like any open world game that does anything that people perceive as Breath of the Wild did it first becomes like everyone's like, oh, they're copying Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild. But a lot of Nintendo fans and people, they don't actually play a lot of games. They just play Nintendo games to the point where like if something very minuscule happens in like a stagnant genre they're used to that's been in games for years, they will blow it out of proportion like it's the newest concept that they've never seen before. And with Breath of the Wild, it's like no matter what someone does with open world game, Breath of the Wild did it first. Like it's the first video game ever made in the history of existence. So if you have a game where niggas can climb, I don't care if you Spider-Man, you climbing, copying Breath of the Wild. You gliding, yo, Batman, I know he was gliding the Arkham and that came out before Breath of the Wild. Doesn't matter. You copied Zelda. You can't. How you gliding in the air, bro? Come on, man. But yeah, Simi, go ahead.
Nintendo should have copyrighted grass because Breath of the Wild was the very first video game to have grass. They should have copyrighted the color green. Breath of the Wild was the very first video game to have a palette color of green. What else? Climbing, shooting bow and arrow. Ooh, let me tell you, weapon durability. Oh my god!
Breath of the Wild they hate that shit.
Anything if it's digital and it's interactive, Breath of the Wild did it first.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Coogan. This stream has a theme. We'll hop into the main topic later, but it has to do with You'll see. Yeah, but Temtem, Pokemon, Kindred. What the fuck is the game called now? Kindred Fates and Monster Crown in the background. Breath of the Wild was the first game to have a Link. What you?
Yeah. Hello.
What's good, Coogan, man? What's up?
But in all seriousness, it's super duper 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 annoying. As Yeti said, because Nintendo toddlers don't fucking play games, this is pretty much the first open world game on a Nintendo console. So them seeing shit that's been going on since the year 2002, they swear up and down this is the very first thing that ever did it. And it's really fucking annoying because I don't know if y'all be in the trenches like that, but open world games have had a very bad rep. Well, that's among the very loud minority on the internet over the past decade or so. All right. So now all of a sudden, open world games are good because fucking Zelda did it. They're super fucking annoying. So I was looking at gameplay of Immortal Phoenix Rising, which I wasn't even trying to do that. I was just trying to look at the game with the max settings and whatnot. And I was like, wait, hold on. This game look kind of fun. I'm like, nah, wait, hold on. This shit look raw. I'm gonna buy this. My original plan was just subscribe to Ubisoft Connect temporarily. If you don't know what that is Ubisoft's version of their games as a service sort of thing. So you pay a monthly fee and you have access to their library plus AAA games for as long as you're subscribed. You can play as long as you want. All right, so my original plan was to just subscribe to Ubisoft Connect, play the game and beat it. But when I was looking at the gameplay, I said, wait, hold on. Now I could dump some hours into this. I don't mind paying the fucking real human dollars to own this.
Mm-hmm.
I might cop. But yeah.
So you want to play a Breath of the Wild clone is what you're saying.
Absolutely. I want to play Breath of the Wild, but without Link, you know? Because he ugly.
Link was Zelda was the first game to have a main character.
Yeah.
Facts.
So the first game to have both a male and female in it. That's crazy.
First game to have sword. It's dangerous out there to go alone, man.
But yeah, people are saying up and down that Immortal Phoenix Rising is a Breath of the Wild clone, right? And it's like, Breath of the Wild didn't invent nothing. There's really nothing that the game did that wasn't done before. Weapon durability, check. Inventory management, check. Stamina bar, check. Freeform level design, check. No hand holding, check. Climbing, check. Physics engine, check. All this shit's been done before. Literally, in 2002, Morrowind came out. Like, I don't get it. it's really fucking obnoxious to see Nintendo toddlers swear up and down that Breath of the Wild pretty much was the first open world game, and we're gonna be in this era for quite some time until they decide to calm the fuck down. But yeah, Moral Fish Rising looks absolutely fun. I mean, naturally I can't recommend it, but I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, I mean, I like everything that I saw. The only reason why I'm not buying the game now is because, like I told you, once they announced the 3 DLCs coming, I said I'll just wait for whatever Ultimate Gods version, Game of the Year edition, whatever the fuck, and I'll just get it all in one sitting. So, but yeah, you got horses, caught Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, is it overrated? I think it's overrated, but I still think it's a great game. Like, I still stand by it. It's one of my favorite games ever. But is it overrated? Yes, because overrated to me doesn't mean something's bad. It just means it's getting more credit than it deserves or what it's due, and it absolutely does because it was not the first one doing that. So, yeah. Let me see. The Breath of the Wild has the prettiest grass though. I don't know. The grass in the Mortal Phoenix Rising look kind of good. I'll have to look at it side to side and really see.
Freaking you go. I mean, again, it's a knock Breath of the Wild at all because I think it actually looks pretty good for a fucking Switch game at least, anyways. But the best grass? Nah, I saw better grass in Just Cause 3. You wildin'.
Yeah. But it is what it is. But it is kind of annoying to see that. Well, I already went there. But Zelda fans are just, this game, because of how big it was and how much like notoriety it got and how much critical acclaim it got, it just became like the new gold standard for open world games. So it's kind of almost effectively replaced everything before it. So anything after it this is the template. So if you do anything like gliding and climbing, or you have like contained dungeons where you do small puzzles here and there, Breath of the Wild clone, that's how people are going to paint it. Genshin Impact gets that kind of rap. I honestly don't think Genshin Impact is like, once I got into the game, is anything really like Zelda, to be honest. I understand the grass and the climbing, the gliding, whatever, but again, I was not delusional by thinking that Breath of the Wild did all these things first. My biggest reasoning for why Breath of the Wild was one of my favorite games ever, probably top 3 to be honest. It's always as simple as any game that does not stifle my creativity, but actually encourages me to explore it and push it to its limits, is a good game to me. And Breath of the Wild was one of those games that did not tell me, no, you can't do this. I want you to solve this puzzle this way and this way only. As long as I can figure it out or find, because I like to push games and find glitches and cheat. I'm just like that. I just like to see what I can do and get what I can and get away with. So it is what it is. I know you're kidding, Reaper. I know it's a joke with the grass. But yeah, I've never seen the appeal of Zelda games, so I'm on the fence about trying Breath of the Wild. What is the appeal of Zelda? I don't even know what to tell you what the appeal is. But if but what I just said about Breath of the Wild, if you're a creative person and you like games that promote that creativity, that's something you should try. Because I told this to you, Simi, which you may have known beforehand, but this is basically the first game, open world, in contemporary style, right? It's just the first Zelda in a lot of ways. That's really all it is. A lot of people don't really know that. What's up, Vince?
He driving. Bring us back to the good old days of Google Hangouts.
Okay, gotta mute him though. But yeah, keep going. But Breath of the Wild. It is what it is. But yeah, stop doing that though. I think if Immortal Phoenix Rising looks good, looks a lot. It looks different enough to me, but again. Do you think that because they did the thing where it's like you do the tutorial, you get everything you need to solve everything, go in the world and play, do you think that's the thing that's bothering a lot of people?
Probably. As I told you before in VC, is the reason why people think that Breath of the Wild is so innovative is just simply the way it presents itself.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the whole, okay, here's the story, or here's what the hell's going on, that you're free to do whatever the fuck, right? Even though games have done that numerous times before, but it's the first time Nintendo has done it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't force you to do dungeons, caves, whatever the hell they're calling that specific game, in an order. You can do them in whatever the hell order you want.
Yeah.
So probably Immortal Phoenix Rising doing that in that way is what's causing them to bug the hell out. Which is, I mean, fucking whatever.
Breath of the
I gotta
Wild is the
explain this
Dark
again.
Souls of Zelda.
I gotta explain this again, but you know, this is not the first time this has happened. History is always doomed to repeat itself.
Mhm.
This is like the third time this has happened, at least from my knowledge. So, id Software was the company that made the very first fucking FPS game with
Oh
Wolfenstein
yes.
3D,
Mhm.
but we don't classify Wolfenstein 3D as the first FPS game. They perfected that 2D system with Doom 1 in '92, right?
Mhm.
Once Doom 1 released, every single first person shooter after that was called a Doom clone. They weren't called first person shooters, they were called Doom clones. And then we saw it again with the release of GTA 3, and I think it was 2001. I Yeah, I want to say 2001. But GTA 3 was the first sandbox crime game, right? Where they just throw you in a sandbox, you literally could do whatever the fuck. Every single sandbox crime game that came out after that was
Mhm.
called a GTA clone.
Yeah.
It wasn't really until the next gen of PS they stopped saying that phrase. So it's once again seeing that bullshit. And it once again is annoying. I'm just now old enough to understand how annoying it is.
And this also harpens back to a conversation we had a little bit about blanket terms and people being too lazy to really explain stuff. I'm gonna have a video on
Mhm.
it on YouTube that you guys will see about the term plot armor and why I hate when people use it. But just like the joke that Mr. Gulad made earlier about the Dark Souls, um, so Dark Souls and Soulsborne game are something that we associate with difficulty. So if I say, you know, Temtem is the Dark Souls of Monster Tamer games, right? I'm saying it's hard, but what I'm not telling you is how it's hard, why it's hard, the context of what makes this thing challenging and or difficult, and maybe when and where. I'm just saying, oh, it could be hard, but like, what am I? But like, actually explain to me, like, oh, the difficulty curve from this point to this point is very jarring because the game is so easy, and all of a sudden this, that, and the other. They don't do that. So just being like, oh, it's a clone, it's a GTA clone. To me, I hate that because it's just like I kind of understand you're trying to say it's the crime sandbox thing, but like actually explain what it is because I'm sure they didn't copy it word for word, bar for bar, because that's a lawsuit, and these companies will do anything they can to get some money, so they'll sue you with the quickness. So I just don't subscribe to that lazy type of like naming and blanket term and shit like that. Hate it. But Zelda was not the first to do everything. Again, still a great game. So one of my favorites. I absolutely love that game. I wish I could erase my memory and re-experience it. But yeah, calm that down though. Did you, GoldenEye is the godfather of FPS? Oh, but did
You're
you
joking again.
did you have I know.
Well,
Did you have anything else you wanted to say about that?
um, not really. I mean, you know me, I don't have an issue with fucking Breath of the Wild itself, but
Hmm.
this whole fucking perception of Breath of the Wild clone is going to be really annoying for the upcoming years
I think
because
you'd like
it's
it, by
going
the
to
way.
possibly,
I don't think it
possibly,
wouldn't blow you out the water, but you'd be like, yeah, it was good.
especially because I like games that have physics engines in it. So
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
wild shit that I be seeing people be doing in that game, yeah, it looks pretty fun.
One
Even though
problem
Link
with
ugly.
Genshin Impact is if the companies start modeling after it, oh, putting gacha mechanic in major bullet games. I don't want that. I hope not. I don't. I actually haven't really seen how big Genshin Impact is. I don't know if like it like because sometimes you could be a bit in the vacuum and you think something bigger than it is. When you kind of look at the worldwide international scale, it's not that big. I actually don't know how well the game is actually doing, so I couldn't even judge that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes crazy, does really well, and people are like, "Oh, put some gacha shit in there." Remember the loot box craze? Just start that shit. So okay, so while we're still on the topic of Nintendo, and let's talk about why they kind of made, because I don't know if you guys we spoke about it a little team I think once, but we'll kind of go into both of the things, right? So I don't know if you guys have seen the Smash stuff. Um, so basically, oh, damn it, I need to remember this properly. So the Slippy mod or whatever that is allows them to play melee online with other people. Remember, this is a game, so it didn't have online and whatnot. And this game is mad old, like 2 decades old now. How old is melee? Like 20 years old? Almost.
Yeah, actually, that can't be 20 because it had to come out in fucking the 90s.
Actually,
But
no, yeah. Well, because maybe I don't think. No, I wasn't 7 playing Melee. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. No. So like,
we
you know,
got
16 ish years, 15, 16. That sounds about right. I don't know, but yeah. So the Nintendo has never really supported competitive.
it came out in 2001.
Okay. All right. So I don't know how many guys like. I don't know how many of you guys like competitive Smash and things of that nature, and we used to watch it. Blah blah. We know they. I said they were weirdos. You know what happened with the community. However, yeah. So basically, they have rollback. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's almost legless, and obviously we're in a global pandemic. So I think it was the Big House tournament. They were going to use the Slippy mod to host like an online Smash tournament, which Nintendo has kind of supported before, and they basically used the fact that it's a mod and not the legal version of the game to kind of shut them down. And it's been a huge backlash because of it. I don't know if you've seen the hashtags like free melee, save Smash, things of that nature. The Nintendo kind of came out with a statement saying, "Oh, this is the reason why it's illegal," and at the end of the day, they can exercise their legal rights. But a lot of us know just because something is legal does not make it right or correct, just ethical, all that stuff. We can debate that later. It's just a nasty practice because I always felt like they've been tyrants. But what ended up happening, which is really crazy, is as a result of that, this 25-page document or something like that came out about these people in the community who were like TOs and tournament people who used to constantly work with Nintendo, basically telling the truth about how they never really had their backs. Think about it in that's just like, if I like a girl and she knows that and she uses that to her advantage. So anytime she's interested in somebody else, she kind of strings me. She kind of blows me out. But when she, if I start to find interest elsewhere or whatever, she kind of pulls me back in, keeps me around, but doesn't ever really give me what I want, quote unquote. So they basically been doing that with the Smash community. So the one esports they've been actually pretty like supportive of is the Splatoon community. That's like the paint, 3D paint, like shooting game with the squids. And they basically 30% of them, by the way, not even like all of them, actually stood in solidarity with the Smash players. So in their like team names, they added like Save Smash or free Melee. So Nintendo shut down the stream and said he can't stream the game or some shit like that. And I just I can't with this company. I don't even know where to start, bro. You want to take it away? I'm gonna talk for a minute.
Son, Nintendo is, as I said the other day in the fucking other stream, like last week or whatever the fuck it was, Nintendo one of the biggest anti-consumers ever. And they always have been. I don't know why anybody could fucking stand with them. Like, all they do is stifle everybody. They're like light years behind when it comes to technology and features on their consoles.
Online still ass.
The game graphics be looking like doo-doo. They charge out the wazoo. No deals, no discounts. Yep. And y'all happily freaking put the collar around your neck and on your ankle. I don't get it. Yeah. And it's kind of pathetic how it takes them literally shooting the Smash community in their foot for y'all to kind of sort of realize that, hey, these guys aren't, innocent and, the perfect angel of a company / developer and whatnot. It's just, I just shake my head when I look at it. Yeah, what they did is complete bullshit. And there's so many easy workarounds. First of all, if they're not selling Melee, right, then they're not losing or gaining any money. So they're not making a profit or losing money from these niggas playing fucking Melee. Right?
Yep.
And then on top of that, there's so many workarounds from the tournament standpoint. Every single participant of the tournament could just show their copy of Melee. What's the issue? Or Nintendo could freaking make a remastered version of Melee with online capabilities. But they won't. There's so many things that they can do, but they fucking won't. Instead, they'll wait for you to do it for free, then they'll fucking take it down. And it just keeps repeating. And I just shake my head. I don't. You can't save those who don't want to be saved, right? So I just look. I just watch y'all fucking town burn. I just look. I shake my head. Shit nasty.
Yeah. And so, the I like I when would you say I kind of realized, like 2016, 2017, where I really was like, that's kind of a, because even it took me a while to, like, I knew, but like I did the thing that a lot of people used to do, which I really hate. But we'll get to it for a second. Cause I kind of want to talk about the Paper Mario thing for a second, because it kind of ties into where I'm going to be going with this. Because Breezy Bird, you might appreciate this because I know you like Paper Mario and stuff, but like Arnold did a video talking about Origami King, and I was listening to what he was talking about. Like he basically he doesn't a game like that, right? And what he said about them to me was very interesting. Because remember I told you that he was talking about he felt like the game was just showing off its ego, like the ego of the company, to not give you what you want, but kind of do it. But it's like it's the company being so stubborn to the fact, like, we want this, we're kind of quote unquote demanding this, but we'll half-ass give it to you, or we just straight up won't listen to you. And it's like the company's like pride and ego or old traditionalism and stuff is getting in the way of their actual business practices in a way that's weird. But again, they don't have to change it because it's not like people aren't buying the game. Every day it gets harder and harder to support Nintendo. Free Splatoon, free Melee. Nintendo have unfortunately managed that the custom Edicons must no longer be sold. Is that these are Edica like
themed Joy Cons? Yes.
Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. That's kind of crazy. But
yeah, I saw that earlier.
I just seen that, so I don't know. But it's really sad to see that. They be doing shit like that. But like, to Simi's point about like we kind of let it happen, is that how many, like, I'm gonna ask you guys this, and no judgment, because I've done this too, right? How many times have you kind of seen, like think about Sword and Shield when it came out, right? We knew that game was looking kind of mid from the jump, but people are just like, nostalgia, Pokemon, shit is cute, I know, but I'm gonna just buy it anyway because it's Pokemon. If you guys constantly think like that and put money in their pocket, why should they change their business practices? If you came to me and said, hey yo, you can do the bare minimum in this game and everyone will buy it, why would I put in the extra work? You feel me? And because Nintendo fans always have the logic of they'll basically take what they get, and it's like, you need to speak with your wallet. If you're not affecting their bottom line, I promise you nothing will change. Pokemon is probably way too far and gone because it's so multimedia, multi-franchise, from the show to the card games to actually Pokemon Go to the Pokemon games to Pokemon spin-off, Pokemon anime, Pokemon manga, all that stuff. So it's too late. We can't whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like, because what they're looking at is the cha-ching, the yen symbols, the dollar symbols, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if something is selling, why would anybody give a rat's ass about what viral tweet, viral video gotta say? They already made their profit. Freaking, I'm pretty sure the whole reason why the Assassin's Creed formula changed from the last one, I think was Syndicate, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, to Origins, with the whole RPG thing, why they took a break with releasing it every year, and it came out Origins, is because that shit wasn't selling as good as it was with the fucking with the original fucking storyline and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to freaking hurt their pockets, otherwise they're not going to do anything. But unfortunately, this goes both ways as well, because when they do quote unquote do something and it doesn't sell, they take that as an initiative to never do it again. But that's freaking going off on a tangent. Capcom. But yeah, man, it's absolutely fucking wild. If people are buying something, it's not going to change, and that's the fight. That's the very first thing you have to do if you want change. Not buy that shit. I'm doing my part. I don't own a fucking Switch. I don't own a Wii U either.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not doing enough, but I will say this. I understand the risk. Like for real, I get the risk. Like, let's say we quote unquote boycotted Origami King. Nintendo can go like, wow, nobody bought Origami King. Paper Mario's dead and stop making it. That's a reality that we could face. But if you're not willing to risk and sacrifice, you will not get better. You will not get change. And I just don't. I just feel like people are way too cowardly. I think the controversy of Sword and Shield could have led to smaller sales, but the negative got too stupid by some people. Yeah. The bad publicity sometimes helps people. Like, what? Why is anybody roasting this? Oh, this one scene is this bad. It can't be that bad. Let me go play it and try it out. That's kind of true. Toei gave us that shit and people eat it up. I mean, Toei could be frustrating sometimes. I definitely agree with that. But yeah, it's just I own more indies on Switch than first party games from Nintendo. Yeah, I just buy indies really. I don't really buy indie Nintendo games, but yeah. If Sony had Pokemon and Zelda, why would anyone buy Xbox or Nintendo? Probably like some people will probably do for Metroid, but I feel you. Like you take away some of their big IPs, maybe some people don't care about it as much. But like, it's just this weird brainwashing syndrome, like you said, that a lot of them have. That I can't really fathom it anymore. Like I try to understand it when I talk to people, where it's like grown ass men older than me. I'm 27. Have looked me in the eye and tell me I know the game is bad. I just like Pokemon. And I kind of can't get around that because they paid you for this game specifically. They made you pay $60 more for the entire game you should have got from the jump with this Island of Armor and the other DLC they added. That should have been the base game. They withheld that for no reason, as far as I'm concerned. And people paid basically extra $60. Go ahead, sorry.
The whole reason why Nintendo is the freaking tyrant, or I should say, has that super strong, damn near the strongest brainwashing serum known to man, is because they quote unquote saved the video game industry, right? So a little history lesson. I won't get too deep into it. So I don't know if y'all remember, but the very first time fucking home consoles were created, they were computers, not freaking computers with Windows 3.1 or MS-DOS on it, but computers where they had a keyboard and a freaking case and whatnot, and you had to type in the command to play a little game, so on and so forth, right? So ColecoVision and Television, Atari, shit like that, right? A bunch of companies had their own fucking home computer entertainment system. And this is why consoles today, even to this day, are still called home computer entertainment systems from this era, right? I don't know why, but somewhere along the line, that shit crashed. All of them niggas dropped out. It was over with, right? Video games were dead. Nintendo saved that shit with the Nintendo Entertainment System. When they dropped that, that was the rebirth, the Phoenix era, if you will, of video games. So because of them, that's why we're here today. So they have that origin story. Then on top of them being family friendly. Then on top of them beating Sega in their fucking console war. And so on and so forth. Right? So their brainwashing serum is like, we're talking about super galactic level, comic book level type shit. Right? Just from all the shit that they've done. So unfortunately, they have a very good stronghold on their fucking fan base. And one of the reasons why they can literally get away with bloody fucking murder. Mm-hmm. Nobody gives a shit because all the shit that they did, their history and whatnot. And it's unfortunate because they were a very good fucking company. Again, my favorite console of all time is a Nintendo console. It's the fucking 64.
Yes, sir.
So it's just very unfortunate to see them fall from grace like that.
Yeah. You hate to see it. But this does lead into my interesting day. And the main topic of like what I want to talk about today. The last game I played was Sun and Moon 3DS, and I got fucking like see for all the handhelds though, I played them all, but I never had to buy them because my 3DS and DS were hacked and stuff, so I didn't have to buy them. So I didn't actually. So like, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. I always forget this. I did buy X. I did buy X for 3DS. It was a new one. I said, you know what? Yeah, and then I didn't get it, and I was like, you know what? This is why I don't because this has literally been the same game. But okay, so I was at my friend's house today. It was his birthday, and we can't really do nothing. So like 4 of us went to his house because hung out for a bit. But he has Temtem on his. He had Temtem. He has Temtem on his computer. So like it's an early access. Now I don't know if you guys were around on my old Twitter account when I used to always say Temtem is gonna dethrone Pokemon. I used to say about Yokai Watch too. I just any his Pokemon like I just to because Pokemon fans are babies, so just to piss them off, I'm like, yo, Temtem, we Temtem tamers, it's over. Pokemon's dead, and I was just capping, just having fun, right? No, this was it. So playing it, I was like, they basically did all the things. Honestly, it's the most shameless copy of something I've seen in a long time. Like it's like you copy my homework, the UI, everything's the same, but everything that you probably wanted in a Pokemon game is in Temtem. From better competitive battling and strategy and difficulty. I like the graphics better, and they were made by an indie team and everything of the sort. And it was like, oh wait, this game is for grown ass people. They're not like sitting there talking about. I go to somebody, to NPC, and they're like, oh yes, rock Pokemon help build the bridge. Like they just talk about a whole bunch of fucking nothing. But these guys are like they're actually cracking jokes and saying shit and cussing. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, it's kind of raw. It was actually bad fun. So like I always saw these type of games as Pokemon clones. Oddly enough, right? I'm kind of a hypocrite in that sense. I had never heard the term creature collection or monster tamers for like a genre of gaming or subgenre, if you will, meaning there's actually a group and a subsetting of people and gamers who really like these monster collection type games. So my eyes were kind of open because with Temtem, I'm like, okay, it's an MMO one. So like, if me and Simi wanted to beat this game together, we can play the entire story together. So because they're all double battles, right? So I'll throw my Tem, you throw your Tem, whatever, and then we do our shit. We could split up in the city, get our posters, come back, blah blah blah. And like basically, I'll just say this, and this is not even like a fresh concept. Basically, just took shit from other JRPGs, put it in this. And now the battling actually doesn't suck. There's no RNG. You can't miss a move. There's no missing, right? But it has more of a stamina meter, more so than you have like was it PP in Pokemon? What's it called? Was that for power? What the fuck? That's first of all PP. Come on, dog. But I don't even remember what it stood for, like power points or something points. But like I know it has a true competitive scene, Griever, but it's just math and crunching numbers. Where like with this, I feel like the actual strategic part to it is a lot better because if you like, the stronger the move is, the more of your stamina it does, and actually to get stamina back you have to not attack, so you have to basically rest and get hit or risk getting hit to kind of regain the ability to use some moves. So you can't just kind of spam your strongest moves, and it's not like Pokemon where all you have to do is kind of hit them with the best of super effective move and kill them. I kid you not, I can't remember the last time I've ever lost in a Pokemon like campaign. I must have been like 12 losing to Lance. You know what I'm saying? Games are piss easy. I like 4 times because I was just like the problem really was I was thinking too much like Pokemon. I'm like, no, I have to actually engage with my frontal lobe a little bit and think. Because what I didn't know was like, if you have like a nature type and I like a mental type and I do a certain attack and we have like synergy, you could actually add bonus effects to my attack. Like it incapacitates the Temtem for an extra turn. And I'm like, these are the most simplest things that I see in a JRPG, but the fact that you've added to a Pokemon-like game has literally fixed the problem with combat. Something that small, that simple. And I couldn't fucking believe it. Even just running around and platforming around just looks like a way more fun. I see niggas with like metallic like gliding glove, niggas was surfing. I seen a hook shot, niggas Indiana Jones in. I'm like, wait. So I recommend it early. I mean, I think you have to pay for it even though it's an early access and stuff, and it has way more content than Sun and Moon, by the way.
All early access means is that it's still in development.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta pay for it.
So if you want to wait till it's out, you could do that. That's what I wanted to do. But yeah. I would recommend that. I have some more to talk about, but I'll leave it at that. Anything you want to say? Hold on. Have you considered playing the Yakuza games? Yeah, I have considered it. But yeah, go ahead. Anything you want
Um, no, I mean, I was never a freaking Pokemon head growing up. I tried my damnedest, and it never happened. I
to?
tried with fucking Emerald, I think. It's a game with the green cartridge
Mm-hmm.
on Game Boy Advance. I
Yeah.
tried with that, didn't work. I actually played fucking is it XD the GameCube one?
Yellow
Um,
Darkness. Yeah, that's what we could. That's
yeah.
the sequel to Coliseum.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, my sister actually had the fucking XD GameCube. It had fucking Lugia, whatever the fuck that bird name is, on the fucking GameCube and shit.
Yeah, Lugia.
She had that special edition, so I played it. I actually got pretty far, and that was, and you know me, this was way before I even became a full blown RPG player. So my dumb ass was going through entire fucking dungeons with no fucking healing items, no nothing. I'm just using the same fucking Pokemon till that nigga die, then I change type beat, right? And I mean, to me, it felt like I got pretty fucking far. I mean, that was cool and all. It felt more like a traditional RPG than a Pokemon game, but I wouldn't know because I don't play Pokemon games to begin with. But yeah, I don't have a long history of Pokemon like the majority of you guys do, so I actually really can't say much of anything about this fucking topic.
The difference.
I
Oh, go ahead.
actually didn't know that freaking there was that many games like it though. Like I knew about Yokai Watch and I knew about Temtem, but I just typed in Monster Crown and I see a bunch of games. You got Kaze and the Wild Mass, Monster Sanctuary, Fantasy Farming, Orange
Yeah.
Season, Banners of Ruin.
Did you see Kinder
That,
Fates? Because
uh,
I'm gonna show some of these so people can kind of get a bit of a I'm streaming whatever. I'm gonna show them just so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at. Because I think Kindred Spirits. Well, finish what you're gonna say, and then I'll get into it.
yeah, Nexomon, Monstrum. I actually got Fate Tactics for free from Humble Bundle.
Mm.
Did not look like something I wanted to play though, but I got it, and so on and so forth. And I found that fucking pretty amusing. I didn't know that the subgenre was that thriving. You know, I more knew about fucking the subgenre of that bullshit ass slice of life. Um, what the fuck is that game called? Fucking not Harvest Moon, the other one.
Stardew Valley?
No, the other one, the one on Nintendo consoles. It's Harvest Moon. What's the other game called?
Shit. I'm tired. I can't.
Yeah, that bullshit where you just farming and shit. That game that none of y'all actually play. Yeah, I knew more so of that subgenre than the monster collecting subgenre. If you ask me, I was gonna tell you fucking Spore. And that's it. That's the extent of my knowledge. But yeah, I can't really say much.
Yeah, because here's why I kind of find this whole thing fascinating, right? So I'm gonna show you guys a couple of trailers and then we'll kind of talk about some stuff. But like, okay, so I have been mentally checked out of Pokemon since X and Y. Sun and Moon and whatever did nothing for me. And Sword and Shield is literally one of the worst games I've ever played. But I didn't buy it, so I'm okay with that. Um, like it's just so bare. Like I could feel the lack of effort. Right? I could. It was crazy bad. But the thing about it, I think with my mind being open to this whole genre, it's done the same thing that Bug Fables did to me with Paper Mario. I don't even need them anymore. Like Pokemon is just dead to me now in general, because the things that I want, other companies will do it, or indie people who are frustrated with Pokemon will do it. Because how some of this stuff really starts is people really like something and see that Game Freak, the Pokemon company, won't do it and won't really make it the way they should or advance it the way they should. So they put on the glove themselves and say, "I'll do it myself." Animal Crossing. There you go.
Oh yes, Animal Crossing.
Why couldn't I remember that? Like I didn't
that
play.
shit do not exist.
Because I get whatever. But yeah. But thank God he didn't buy Sword and Shield. Oh yeah, of course not. But you asked me what I think of. Okay, so actually I will say this because remember this is the generation where I had my R4, so these games were all free for me. Black and White is the only Pokemon game I think has a good story, and it doesn't actually have a good story. It just has a really interesting main theme, which is ideals versus truth. because it was the one game where they actually kind of addressed the fact that's like, isn't this slavery? We're just making Pokemon do shit, and I'm like, wow, okay, y'all kind of addressed it. It wasn't much, but it was something. I'll give credit where it's due. But that's all. That's really all I have to say. That's the game with N, if I remember correctly, right? So that's the that game was that game's story didn't really bother me. It's still trash, but yeah. But the competitive part of that game was crazy, but I don't give a fuck about competitive Pokemon. Oh shit, I lost my train of thought. But okay, so now that I know about these other games, they will give me the things that Pokemon would never give me without the actual restrictions and restraints of Pokemon being like this long-standing IP, multimedia franchise, and like kid-friendly. Like Monster Crown is pretty dark. We're like what I like about it is that like humans and Pokemon, humans and monsters live together, but it's not like, you know, Pokemon, if I go to a pull up a Team Rocket, these guys are supposed to be a crime syndicate. I beat them in Pokemon battle, they just aside. In this game, yo, if you beat somebody and they don't give a fuck, they might just shoot you and beat you up, or just throw another monster and tell to attack. I'm like, oh wait, it's like, hold on, that's kind of raw.
Yeah, I might need to freaking check that shit out because I'm trying to shoot it.
It was, well, I didn't shoot somebody; they shot us, but or the thing I was watching, the gameplay I was watching, because like the girl had this guy tied up and told her fucking like monster to start slicing that dude, and there's just one guy who like an asshole, and he literally pulled a or whatever from One Piece. He hopped in a boat like ha, and then a monster came out to sea and ate that nigga.
Oh shit!
Right?
A CK Aiden. Oh shit.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, so y'all, so like with that, to me, I'm like, so if I just kind of wait and depend on like the more indie, smaller companies that actually have a real passion, they will give me these monster tamer type games in ways that I wouldn't expect and experience and would never get from Pokemon. Because what I want to show you, I'm gonna show you guys right now in a second, is Kindred Spirits. Because Kindred Spirits to me is cool because it's like open world, where it's like yokai things, so like the spirits are like actually spirits and they actually talk to you and shit. But what's cool is if let's say I'm battling someone and my I think they call it kins or something, but if it dies, or and I say I can die too, by the way, so like we kind of fight together. It's like one of those things where the relationship is equal. It's not like master and pet, you know. So I can die, you can die. But what happens is if that Pokemon quote unquote faints, they'll have that weird blue spirit flame they use in Japan a lot. And if that flame goes out, that Pokemon thing is dead. It's gone. You can't get it back. All the things you've done is that's it. It's gone. So forget a self-implied Nuzlocke. If you're not careful, you will lose your actual monsters. I'm like, that's kind of cool. It's stressful, but that's dope. That's dope. So I'm gonna show you right now. Yeah, I like that. I seen one. It's like a top down, more isometric. It kind of looks like League, or like one of those like MOBAs, but like
isometric.
He was like summoning these monsters like out of thin air to fight back, and you run around and stuff. And I'm like, this looks kind of fun too. But yeah, Game Freak is lazy and they're just pathetic. But let me show you guys this real quickly. Window capture. Show you guys a few of these. But yeah, this. And then tell me what you guys think. Basically, you're gonna like full screen? Okay. I probably won't play the whole thing just because, but like you'll see here, like I'll show you the better version later because this was like the Kickstarter demonstration, if you will. So it was super unpolished. But I kind of like this though, running around instead.
That he summoned that nigga.
When they actually talk in English. So it's very interesting. You can ride them on the sea, the air too. Also with Monster Crown, they actually I think the Pokemon are all in the overworld, if I remember correctly. I wanted to see the part where the Mega dies. So you see that little fire there? But boom, he got clapped.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, so you see right here, they turned to ashes. That nigga is gone. he is deceased. And I thought that was like a super cool thing. Like I really like that. I'll show you the gameplay a little bit better because this other gameplay thing here, right here. I think a week ago, it looks a little more polished. Alpha, it's still alpha, pre-alpha footage. Pikachu saying Pika Pika. Greater than side these monster monologues. I need that text and dialogue, baby. My shit struggling. That's why I got all these fucking So like here, the shit looks a lot better from the first trailer that we watched. This looks a lot more polished and shit.
Yo, that acorn killing me.
Yeah, I would speak more on the monster designs, but I think that's just a personal preference thing. I can't really tell you if they're good or bad. I don't know. They're fucking dogs and inanimate objects moving. Same shit. You like it or you don't.
Nah, this is just from a graphically standpoint, not even a monster, just environments look so much fucking better.
Like, and you would never get that like Pokemon, you know?
Absolutely not. Yo, turn-based ad. Hold on. Should I sing that? We're gonna get DMCA if I sing that?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just show this one though. The early access trailer looks new. So this is what Monster Crown looks like. This is more in the GBA style, like the older styles of games. And this is what with the really dark story. Like, they just be murking people, bro. I gotta tell you, like, it's
Island.
kind of wrong.
Here, dangerous.
Come on, dog. I hate when it's on auto. Why when it's on auto, it just does not obey me.
Monsters roam free. In a world where ancient evil forces are threatening to return, you must tame and breed the strongest monsters.
Yeah,
in
this
order
game
to
apparently
stop the
the main
return
gimmick is
of
you
the
could also
tyrannical
actually
philosopher
breed them
kings.
and crossbreed them.
In order to pull this off, you'll have to venture forth and explore a
I'm a
sprawling
dinosaur,
world
so this kind of
full of
graphics would
monsters,
almost appeal to me.
people, dangers, and possibilities.
See that girl? That's the image I was talking about. I had
While
that nigga
exploring,
tied up.
you can meet other
I had that nigga
teams
just clawing
and
at
fight
it.
it out using your monsters. Or help out citizens.
I don't
in
know
need
how
of
good the battle
assistance.
system is here.
Search different environments to discover different monster species. Fight them to become stronger, or offer them a pact to join you.
Little walrus thing, walrus.
Each monster is unique and has its own statistics and battle moves. Only through breeding and transforming your...
Anyways, that's the game. I'll turn it off for now. Talk, but yeah. So those are those two games. Well, I'll show you one more after, but like, what do you guys think though?
I mean, nah, freaking Kindred Spirits is absolutely fucking crazy. Like, the fact that it's 3D and you get to control your individual monsters and not just... So, you already have the fucking issue of moving around, aiming your fucking hits and whatnot. But the fact that you could fucking strategize, use your environment, then you have... So now you have AoE attacks and singular attacks, physical attacks, projectile attacks and whatnot. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. And it's like, what's cool about it too is like you can get so many different type of styles. Cause like if you want something that's a more quote unquote pure Pokemon experience, like you don't want to deviate too far, I would say play Temtem. Cause Temtem does change up with stuff, but in its presentation and whatnot, it's very much Pokemon. Whereas I think like with some of the other ones, it's definitely inspired, but it's doing its own thing with like the open world running around and whatever. Temtem Peak Fiction, it's peak monster creature collection. Okay, that's what it is. But for the most part, that's kind of all I really want to show you guys and talk about when it came to those. But yeah, I just find this very. Oh, I know this is the question I want to ask you, Simi. Just for your opinion on this, because do you think that this could be a viable method for? I don't want to phrase this. No way to make sense, because I'm thinking of the lines of Bug Fables, right? I feel like if a lot of Paper Mario fans just gave Bug Fables a fair chance and really played it, the old guard ones that really want like the older stuff to come back and they played that game, I don't think they'd ever care about anything else Nintendo put out Paper Mario wise that wasn't just exactly what they wanted. Like with me, with seeing these, and if a lot of indie companies do things that like the company that I quote unquote care about won't do, I'll take the indie product more times than I would take the established IP. I don't know where you stand there.
Well, unfortunately, freaking the brainless, mindless stands who are hooked up to the machines, marinating in the brainwashing serum juice, they're not going anywhere, right? It doesn't matter what the fuck anybody does. They're gonna be Pokemon for fucking life. But the people who I go where the quality is, yeah, there's absolutely a fucking market for that. And if because you said Temtem is an MMO, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if Temtem's player base actually blows up like that, like a fucking Black Desert, like a Final Fantasy 14 type beat, well, they're here to stay. They are absolutely here to stay. There's the fucking market for that. So once these games finally come out of early access, and you get that version 1.0, and they have their fucking console versions of what may have you, right? And they branch out to a wider platform, even though, but let me not even say that. Let me keep my mouth shut about that. Yeah, it's gonna blow up. It absolutely 100% is going to blow up. Just like how fucking Battle Royale blew up, just like as fucking hero shooters blew up with Overwatch, it's gonna blow up.
Because here's the thing, here's my problem though, because like, so my understanding is that people were actually very interested in the game, but the early access had a lot of problems and player interest kind of slowly but surely diminished over time, right? And then with the new update, it's gotten some of his life back, whatever. And apparently they've been patching things really good, really fast, and even just half of the game, the 50% has much more content than the entire Sword and Shield pack, which I found was interesting. But the thing that's very scary, because I was kind of like watching some videos on it, just learning just kind of get some intel, and like I'm seeing certain comments, so like the Pokemon fanboys and fangirls or fan theys, whatever, right? Fan thems. I've never seen such a hostile, like it's almost like they feel like with the creation of Temtem, it's like here to replace Pokemon. Where I'm like, I don't know where some fan bases get this me or them type of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this could exist in its own space, and Pokemon's not going anywhere. You guys have history plus a multimedia, multi-franchise organization. Temtem is not dethroning y'all in any meaningful way. It'll just be something cool that people who wanted something different from Pokemon would get. And tons of Pokemon fans like the game. Like, I don't understand why their first reaction to say, "Oh, you shouldn't pay this much for this game. It's fucking this and that." Third, I'm like, you paid $120 for Sun and Moon. This is an early access game that cost you like $30. What are we doing? You know, with more content, the very game you're trying to defend. It's just, I don't know, bro. It's sad.
Yeah, as I said, those freaking Stanleys, that Vanguard, that Royal Elite Guard, They're not changing, right? They will always be that way, point blank, period. But as you said, Pokemon is not going anywhere. The only way Pokemon would ever go anywhere is if fucking Nintendo goes out of business. Simple as that. Pokemon is way too big. It's bigger than itself at this point. So it doesn't matter what anybody does. There's nothing that's going to place Pokemon. It's just like the freaking stupid ass thing that racist people be saying, talking about some. There's nothing wrong with one to state a majority type beat. Ignore the implications of that statement. At the end of the day, Pokemon will always be the majority. Simple as that. So there's no issue. There's no reason for them to feel threatened. Temtem will do fine. Once it comes out in freaking the version 1.0, they release it on PC, they release it on fucking PS5, Xbox, whatever the fuck they release it on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just fine, trust me. As long as they keep the updates, it's gonna be just fine. And this genre is gonna continue to fucking flourish. We saw it happen with fucking whatchamahoozy, Battle Royales, right? Fucking PUBG was quote unquote the first one, even though apparently H1Z1 was, but that game was kind of ass, so nobody gave a shit, right? So PUBG was the first one, right? And that was super popular. Then Fortnite came out. Those were super popular. Everything that came out after that was ass until Apex. Apex was like the last one in that freaking short boom where people say, okay, this is fire, which is the point I'm trying to make. If the content is good, the quality is good, people are going to play it. You're going to have those Stanleys, but there's nothing you could do about that, right? There's always going to be a shadow the second you have fucking light. So
there it is.
Temtem will be just fine.
Have you seen it all?
I've actually not seen any gameplay, just the fucking cover art, if you will.
I'm just gonna play Adore real quick, just so people can see them. I was talking about a little earlier with the isometric view, I just wanted you to see like different types, quote unquote, monster taming feature collection games, and then I'll show you the Temtem one. Then we'll move on. Cause we've been on this a little longer than I thought we would have been. I didn't realize I had this much to say. It's just crazy because like it's one of those things where like I probably had repressed frustration with Pokemon, and I think this was like it saved me. It's literally giving me the same vibes of Buck Fables, just completely freeing me from the fucking shackles of Paper Mario and Nintendo. I'm over them.
What you said, Vince? Which one? Because he showed like 3 different ones.
What do you mean? Say it again? Hello?
Oh, I don't know why he can't fucking. You good, Eddie? You can't hear nothing?
I can hear you. Oh, I muted Vince.
Oh yeah, you muted Vince. That's why. I think it was fucking. He
I just muted for me though. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Oh, my fault, bro. Because you were driving and it was mad noisy. What's up?
Oh, I was saying, what was the first monster game you put on again? Where the niggas got shot and shit like that?
Oh, that's
Monster Crown.
The other one is Kindred Fates, and then I showed. What else did I show? Yeah, I showed 2 Kindred Fates trailers, but I'm gonna show you guys Adore real quick, just so you can see this.
Yeah, I need links. Fuck it.
Give me all those. Yeah, I got you. I got you. But I'm gonna show this one real quick. Then I'll show you Temtem, so you can just kind of see me. Cause Temtem, I think I'm gonna end up getting, to be honest. It's gonna cost me like $40, which is not bad.
I mean, yeah, you should probably get it. Because sometimes, unfortunately, what happens is when a game comes out of early access, they increase the price, which is a surefire way.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's a surefire way to get a good chunk of people to not buy it or review bomb it or both, right? So I would actually say get it while it's on early access. Get it for $30, and then if you don't even have to play it throughout its entire development cycle.
Yeah, I was thinking about just getting it and then not playing it until.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that.
This is Adore. This is like the one I'm talking about where you summon them. I don't know. It looks to me a little bit just good because of the view.
You control the nigga in the middle, right?
Yeah, so the guy, you're the boy, like the guy. I assume when you summon monsters, I don't know if they have like certain attack patterns or just they do a certain move or whatever. This is I just saw this maybe like an hour before I started streaming those. This was the latest one that I saw. So this one's supposed to be really fun too.
This actually looks more like a freaking action RPG, like fucking Diablo or
Yeah.
Because even Ni no Kuni is they kind of consider a creature collection, whatever. So
yeah, cause he's like fucking fucking the nigga from SMT, Devil Summoner, where he don't fight by himself. He fights with fucking you collect fucking demons and shit, and they fight for you.
Yeah, that's this game. So keep it. If you're interested.
Yeah, it looks more like a fucking action RPG than a fucking
I guess it's because
monster collecting game.
There's I don't even know if you like how you get those monsters or whatever, but this is the PS5 trailer. Like you'll see the game and immediately think Pokemon. They didn't even really change up a lot of things. You see the zip? Zip across?
Welcome to the world of Temtem, a massively multiplayer creature collecting game filled with friends, foes, and dozens of Temtem to find and tame.
Dang. Okay, there you go.
Experience the epic story-driven campaign alone or with a friend. Battle, trade, or chat with other players, and engage in exciting and unique skill-based combat to determine who's the best Temtem
collection
tamer
of fusion.
in
You can
the
negotiate.
Airborne
Yeah, that's true. I know that. People didn't know that for Persona 5. That's not a new thing. They're like, oh, what the fuck is this new thing? I'm like, this has been. You know what?
Begins with the choice between one of 3 starter Temtem.
You know freaking Persona fans? Persona fans think the story started with fucking 4.
Or Hoochie. Native to Tuckma, Crystal is cute but tough. Their primary stats are defense and HP,
Yeah,
but they also
Temtem looks
guard
just
and
fine.
crystal spikes.
Like we don't need all this.
Yeah.
Battles in
You have the
Temtem
freaking obnoxious Stanleys get their couple of viral tweets off on Twitter and Reddit and whatnot, but the game will do just fine. The quality is there, the content's there, people gonna be playing it. Especially, and it has the
maximum damage.
it has the advantage of being on multiple platforms.
Temtem also
Yeah.
uses a unique
And
standard-based battle
one thing that I heard
that
about this game too is the
encourages
animations for a lot of the
Carefully
other
managing
a lot of the
Temtem's
attacks are
stamina
really
and
well
knowing
done,
when to
like the
hold
big
back
ones apparently.
Or go all out is vital to your success. There are dozens
yeah,
of Temtem
it just
with different
looks
strengths,
like a
weaknesses,
yeah, it looks
and
fun.
unique
Like I'm
stats.
gonna like I could play this with my
Temtem
friends, which
transfer
is dope.
techniques
So
and
like
traits, creating unique combinations that can't be found in the
I'm into
wild.
that.
Temtem that are bred also customize your character. The
And I could be
entire
black.
campaign of
Yeah.
Temtem can be
That's-
played with a friend cooperatively. Grab a friend.
But yeah,
or
like
meet
when I
someone
was see some of the
along your journey.
dialogue, I was surprised. Like it's not just like super kiddie dialogue. Like they're like talking about some shit and cussing, and one dude was talking about you trying to get you trying to get me to slip off your panties or something like that. And I was like, wait. I was like, hold on. But yeah, these are the ones that I really have to show you for the most part. There's tons more I probably don't know about, but yeah, peep them, and yeah, it's just cool. We could move on. Some other stuff. I'm opening up all the wrong things first. Yes, sir. All right, so what else did I have to say? Digimon got the better show and Temtem got the better game now. Pokemon in the mud. They're not in the mud when it comes to the money. Okay.
Ching.
Remember the conversation we had about easy mode? So I was watching a video. I don't even remember the channel at all. Because sometimes what happens is when I'm gaming on my Switch or I'm gaming, I just have shit on in the background and I'm just doing stuff and I'll just have stuff on. So this guy was talking about, you guys should know Supergiant. They did Bastion, Hades, the newest one, Pyre, and Transistor, the best one. Yeah, Digimon Cyber Sleuth is cool and stuff. I've seen it a lot and I've played it. It's just really long, so I was good on it. I'm not really a Digimon guy like that though, but I don't hate Digimon, at least at the first 3 seasons. But there came a point that so this guy's video apparently I guess he's like one of those like my difficulty, it gotta be challenging Dark Souls type beat, like I don't know. So like he don't like these baby games, and he said something like he was speaking like some facts and saying a lot of good shit, and he put me in when he said this line. He said he's the thing, any game ever should have an easy mode. None. Not no hyperbole. He said no game should have an easy mode. And I was like, I have never heard someone say that shit before, and that was like the wildest thing I've ever heard, because this kind of thinking to me is a little bit entitled, because you're not thinking about all the different types of gamers. You know, I always say there's types of fans for series. There's the crackheads who know everything and look every day, and all they do is look at the series. Then there's like the people who they care, know their shit, but they may not be look at every nook and cranny and say, oh yeah, chapter 386, page 16 in the first panel to the left corner. Don't you know? Did you notice Luffy's eyebrow act? Like, you know, like they're not that crazy. Then there's like the passing enthusiasts and like the very casual and lower. You gotta account for all those people when you're making games and whatnot. But I mean, it's a wild statement. Like, chat, you tell me how you feel. Like, should games not having an easy mode? Like, that's one of the craziest I ever heard, bro.
Shit,
how you feel about that?
While they giving their opinion, let me reiterate mine. And hell, Vince, if you're not fucking busy, you could say yours too, because that statement is so wild. But son, that's one of the wildest statements.
I'm waiting for him to finish.
Of course, that statement is one of the wildest things I have ever heard in my entire life. And yet he said it perfectly. It's very inconsiderate, and it's super duper selfish. Because at the end of the day, we all started from somewhere, right? Nobody picked up a controller, picked up a mouse and keyboard, picked up a Joy-Con, picked up whatever, picked up a joystick, picked up a fucking fight stick, and just mastered the game. This is the first time they ever played a video game ever, and they just mastered that whole. No! We all started from somewhere. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the easy mode. If the game itself has a difficulty selection, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody's forcing you to choose that easy mode. If you're not being forced to play an easy game, what's the issue? He's completely condemning everybody who has never played a video game before. Then he's condemning people who are still new to the freaking medium. Then he's condemning people who are very casual and don't want to play games that require the utmost of skill and the most hyper reflex and all that other shit. That don't make no sense. Why is he condemning like 3/4 of the goddamn freaking fandom? That shit don't make no type of sense to me at all. I've been playing video games for as long as I remember, since at least preschool. All right, so I'm not going to, personally for myself, I'm not going to want to play super duper baby game like the very first Wario Land game on Game Boy, where you literally cannot die, right? I'm not trying to play nothing like that, but everybody's not like me. Everybody has not been playing video games since pre-K. Everybody doesn't want to play a game where they have to freaking focus and clench their butt cheeks and their palms sweat and all that other type of shit. So it's like, why did he say that? That's so wild to me. He just said, nah, fuck half the population. They don't mean shit. Those people who mean shit is me and the other hype beasts who want to play on those weird super novelty difficulties where if you just get touched, you die. If you input one wrong command, you die. Type B. He was wilding with that. He was big wilding with that.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? So let me read these real quick. Games need an easy mode, right? That's crazy to me because sometimes so Zodiac touched on. Remember that I touched on him? Remember I told you about the fact that there's something as simple as some people can't see color, so they need color options so they can actually play the game because they're colorblind or they can't see red on a black surface or whatever the case is. So games implement these type of things or sliders and modifiers and things you can toggle to make things for people who are not able. Maybe they're missing fingers, have one hand, can't hear, can't see, and there need to be ways that they can still play the game if they still care about that. And I had this guy's called Mark Brown, Game Maker's Toolkit, and I had seen his videos talking about all the things a lot of companies do to make people who are able to play games. And I have friends, like one of my good friends. She plays game, but she really likes Mass Effect, but she played Mass Effect on that story mode version where it wasn't too hard with the shooting and stuff because she didn't care about none of that. She was there for the literal story, not the gameplay. You have to understand that people come to various games for different reasons, right? If I turn on a game like Gris or Journey, I'm not trying to have I'm here to just sit back, relax, and have an interactive experience that's a little bit different. Because Like, I'm not here to be going crazy like that. I turn on games for different reasons. Do I like easy games? Not really. I like to be challenged. That doesn't mean I don't like Soulsborne, mega difficulty, like crushingly hard. You know what? Not even that. I don't like trial error unfairness. Like, if I'm just walking in the game and like a plank in the fucking wood, I just drop it because something just dragged me under because I just didn't know it was there and there was no actual indicator. To me, that's whack. That's why those those kind of like Dark Soul games, personally for me, don't really do much because I feel like it's very much trial and error, and it's not really possible for me to do it on one go or one playthrough. I have to know when I go around this corner, the boulder comes, I have to wait, then I go up the stairs, the 2 skeletons come out this part, kill, boom. Like, I don't like that. If there's no chance for me to succeed on try 1, I'm not really with it. But it was just funny because remember I told you the first thing I thought about was Fire Emblem? Where like, I'm the kind of person, if you come to me about I played Fire Emblem on not classic mode, you didn't play Fire Emblem as far as I'm concerned. I'm not even gonna talk to you. The conversation's over. And then there's Phoenix mode where like if your units die, they revive in the same map they're in. Nah, bro. I'm not with that. That's the core experience of Fire Emblem. You have to worry about your units dying because they don't come back. It's war. But I thought it was an interesting statement, but boy was he kind of off with that. That's kind of crazy. He sounds like if you're not getting challenge type beat, yeah, he's one of those guys. Playing games on easy mode just ruins the experience. I need a challenge. Yeah, I need a challenge, but I don't need it to be like... I need a challenge, but easy mode existing does not bother me. It's really what I'm saying. Because I could just not pick it.
As I said, freaking... If the game has a difficulty selection, that means there's more than one. There's nobody putting a gun to your temple and up your pussy talking about pick that easy difficulty. You don't gotta pick it. It got nothing to do with you. You could go ahead and play the stupid ass Dante Must Die difficulty if you want. So for him to say that no game ever should have a easy difficulty, that's just blasphemy. He was wilding. Like, he was off the deep end for no reason. I personally just don't understand that. You don't see me going out of my way to play baby games, but if niggas want to play that, let them play that. That don't got nothing to do with you. That's just so weird to me.
I'm a selective elitist. I'm okay with that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm okay with that. I don't. It's this like I don't know. I don't know to say. The one of the biggest draws to me about Fire Emblem that blew my mind was that when I finished that level and I went to the next one, I'm like, wait a minute, where this character? I got hella potions. I got elixirs. Like, no, he dead. I said, yo, that's they don't come after that was raw. So like, yeah, if you're not playing with permadeath, again, I'm not saying you're not having fun. You're just not playing Fire Emblem. You're just playing, I don't know, bro. You're playing Water Emblem. I don't know. But
no, there's like, cause certain people feel like certain games, the whole appeal of it is its fucking difficulty, right? So, Fire Emblem, the original or first few Fire Emblem games, you could not choose a difficulty. It was all permadeath, from my knowledge. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why he feels that way, because that was a permanent implement within the game's mechanics.
I feel like they added an Awakening where they had like not class mode, but whatever mode where it's like it's if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. I'll have to check again. You could still play like Fire on like hard or critical, or after you beat it on hard you get critical, but you could still play without the permadeath. So you could still play classic hard, or like hard, but like without, I don't remember.
Modern hard.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. But I'm taking up the things of this year that we played. I'm gonna save that for another video, so we'll save that. But let's talk about Nirvana real quick.
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
So I literally replayed Valhalla because I'm so sad that Nirvana's not coming out next year. Sukemage said indefinitely in like, I don't know, development hell, whatever you want to call it. We're working on other games. At least tell me what the fuck you working on, bitch. What the fuck? Where the game's at? Don't take away the game and not show me what the fuck you're doing. Where the game's at? If at least what you're making is raw, I might be able to. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Valhalla is a indie visual novel game that's made in the same style as the old PC-88 or for English-speaking regions, TurboGrafx visual novels were about, and it's about a bar in a cyberpunk setting and whatnot,
Cyberpunk bartending action.
Yes, sir. It's pretty much on every single fucking platform out. Also, it just got added to Game Pass. So if you have a Xbox, PC, or Android device,
or Switch,
you could subscribe to Game Pass and play it for free and whatnot. And Nirvana is the sequel to this game. And unfortunately, for some reason that we do not know, Sukeban Games, the developers of both Valhalla and Nirvana, said that Nirvana will no longer be their main priority and that Nirvana will be done when it's done. I'm so sad.
Pain.
Nothing but pain. Like, the game looks so fire. Actually look like it's through the roof. I love the new fucking UI. It's still a PC-88 aesthetic, but
that's
a different.
What Valhalla looks like for ones who know. I put on the screen real quick, just so they could just get a visual a little bit.
Yeah, and it's still a PC-88 aesthetic, but just a different sort of VN on there. It just looked fucking fantastic, and I was super excited for it. We all thought it was gonna be coming out relatively soon-ish.
I was thinking
just
May.
For them to say, just for them to say, nah, that shit delayed indefinitely, and it's just so sad, man. But that game is really unique. It has a lot of good dialogue, both open your third eye type shit and being funny. It's silly. The music is fantastic. The pixel art is fantastic. It's just it's a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah, it hurts. Like, cause like this, it's I know how I feel about it. Yeah, I call it my favorite visual novel, but I don't know. It's not the best one I've played. I know that for a fact. It's just the one I probably resonated with the most. But like, it's kind of not a franchise yet. But it was gonna be. So like, okay, I can see how you maintain the quality going through, and I'm just not getting the next one. Like, it just hurt. It's definitely one of the games I was excited for the most next year beforehand, like that and like Chris Tales and stuff. But it is what it is. Definitely one of the best games. Yeah, the OST is crazy good. It's in the background like almost all my music videos or my videos. Go ahead.
And yeah, it's as Yeti said. At least tell us what the fuck else you're working on. Like, hold on, because I mean, Sukeban is still a very early baby developer in the terms of how many games they have developed. They just have one, right? As far as to my knowledge, which is Valhalla. So that's their legacy. That's what they're known for. Not only that, they received a huge boost in popularity once Valhalla got a Japanese localization. Them fish eat the hell out of that game. And yes, sometimes I refer to Japanese people as fish. Why? Because that's what they be eating. Anyways, them Japanese folk love the hell out of fucking Valhalla, right? So now they have international fame. And for them to just be like, well, it's delayed indefinitely. That's pain all across the fucking board. The entire globe is feeling pain. We don't know what the hell else they're capable of. We haven't, and of course, this is a visual novel. We don't know what they can do. So we don't know if they could do an RPG or an action game or an isometric game or a freaking walking simulator, anything like that. We have no idea what the fuck they could do, right? So we're literally just up in the air. It's the cat box gimmick. We don't know at all. And they're not opening the box. So it's just whatever. Whenever they decide to throw us a bone.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Just pain, I guess. It just like I said, I probably would have taken it a lot better if I had at least seen a screenshot of something. Like, oh yeah, so this is what we're working on, or what we're whatever. Okay, all right. Just like, nah, we're not focusing no more. So what are you working on? What are you working on? Hello?
Subagates has left the chat.
Facts. Yeah, if Chris Tales and Silk Song dropped in 2021, it could be alright. And I think so. I mean, good segue. I think Solar Ash is for next year, anyways, because this kind of just ties into just two quick games real quick. First, I'll start with you. Just Haven. Have you played it all since a day or not?
Oh boy. Woo! Woo! The answer to that question is no. Yeah, I haven't touched it at all since.
So are you done with it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I didn't drop it. I didn't drop it at all. I just, it's so funny because the game specifically said this is not a hard game. It's not meant to be a challenging game and whatnot, right? I don't feel like fucking doing that. Like, don't get me wrong. So apparently, according to an article that they released on GOG, the whole point of the game is to show the intimacy of couples and whatnot, of a couple actually already being a couple, not two people falling in love and whatnot. Two people who are already in love, right? Okay. And as someone who has been in a relationship for fucking 8 years, that shit fire. So that's the very first thing that I noticed. I'm like, oh, they be boo loving. That's fire, right? But I don't want to fucking do that. And I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about playing the game. Like, I just don't feel like fucking floating around on this fucking weird ass planet. I just did not feel like doing that. So I really haven't touched the game, but I do 101% plan on beating it. Mm-hmm. It's just so funny because a game that doesn't require much from me at all, I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I just kind of think it's funny because I think I'm becoming known as like an indie guy. I've never had a game recommended to me so much in a long time. From people in my real life, about work, people on Twitter and wherever. So many people like, this looks like a game you would like. Boogie was in my thing. Like, yo, I think like this. Yeah. I was watching some of you play this on Discord. I'm gonna get it. Kyoto is one of my favorite artists, and when I remember as soon as I see them, like, yo, that looks so familiar. Is that? And I looked at them and I felt like, yo, okay, so I'm in there. I'm into that. I don't mind having a laid back experience, but I think as of right now, that's not something that I'm trying to really do. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm away on Haven, but I'm glad you like it. Pure Life. It looks like it's pretty cool. But how was the combat? I know you were fighting, but like I feel like you didn't get a full grasp of it yet. Like, is that good? Is it okay? What is it?
Oh no, that's just because freaking the game recommended to play with a controller and whatnot, yes, okay. And I wasn't. So the combat it's turn based and it's turn based and it's fucking active meter. There you go. It's both turn based and active meter, but not in the way that fucking Final Fantasy does it, where it's literally just a fucking light bar that goes up and then automatically repeats and whatnot. So you have to control both characters at the same time, right?
Yeah.
You're not taking turns. It's not I hit, then you hit me. No, the enemies will hit you whenever the fuck. Kind of like Final Fantasy X. The enemies hit you whenever the fuck. You can hit them whenever the fuck. But you have to control both characters at the same time, all times. Not, okay, let me do his action, then let me do her action. No, you gotta manage both of them in real time, which is cool. And then it's like fucking Valkyrie Profile, Indivisible, and I forgot the game on fucking Vita, where their actions all correspond to a button on your controller.
Okay.
So like, where's my fucking PS3? So like, X would be to fucking block, square to do a normal attack, triangle to do the fucking to gather move, and then circle would be like your big attack or whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like that. Well, just without the fucking combos that you would be able to do in Indivisible and fucking Valkyrie Profile. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It's just the controls on the keyboard is really fucking weird, and it didn't tell me. Like, it told me once, and that was it. It didn't tell me again. So I was struggling as hell when I was playing it. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun.
This is very minor, but what I really liked about it is I just thought it looked cool. Like, the angle that was on, I never really seen a turn-based kind of have that camera angle. I just thought it was
cool. Yeah, went behind that? Yeah, it looked
like
fantastic.
That, and like, because it kind of float in. It just looked cool. It was cool. So that's one thing I liked about it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. The graphics I like the art style. The character models you could argue do indeed look like shit, but
Yeah.
the art style is what freaking drives the point home. The environments look fantastic. Floating around is very seamless. And when the game looks nice, the dialogue is nice. Again, the Blue Love and Fire. It's just I don't feel like having a fucking laid back experience right now. That's the only reason why I have not played it since. But it's not a bad game at all. I don't dislike it.
That's fair. I want to talk about Solar Ash a little bit, just real quick, because I've basically been replaying a lot of the indies recently, just because I didn't want to sink my teeth into something new so close to Cyberpunk, because I'll drop whatever it is to play Cyberpunk. So I said, you know what? I think I started with Bastion, Transistor, and what's the other one? I was switching back between three of them. So I believe after.
Hades?
Yes, but Hades I don't own though.
Yeah.
My friend, he owns it, so I play at his house because I could just do runs and I kind of have a hang of it. It's fun. It's a good game, but it's not. It's actually only on Switch and I think PC, and I don't want it on Switch. Remember, I said like I don't think it's gonna run well, so I'll wait till like PS5 or something. But yeah, super giant game. But I actually didn't know. Well, actually, Bastion was the first one. I'm like, this had like a story. It's like Hyper Light Drifter is one of those games that's open to interpretation, which I have no problem with. I think a lot of people need text and things to concretely tell them what's going on. Got a vague understanding and my own interpretation of what went on. But what really changed my outlook on that game, because I didn't know this, Alex, A-L-X, it's not really Alex, I guess, I don't know, Preston, the creator of, I think Heart Machine Studio and whatever. My friend owns it. I play at his house, now make sure the feds are listening. But in Hyper Light Drifter, right, the creator, he actually has a congenital heart condition. Basically, he's been on the brink of death so many times, and any time his heart can kind of fail him. And I didn't know he was making this game, even knowing I could drop dead making this game. I mean, I even finished making it, and it's called Heart Machine Studio. The heart motif and theme of the game became so clear to me once I knew that, because even the 4 towers you have to activate, they pulse, and if you kind of look at the map, I don't know if they were capping this because observation, but they were saying the way the map was kind of made was similar to like the inner of the heart with the left ventricle or right ventricle and things like that, and I thought it was just really cool because Solar Ash is like I don't want to say sequel, I more so want to say spiritual successor, but I saw them say it's kind of in the same universe, so to speak, though, so that could be interesting. It just looks really cool. So if you liked Hyper Light Drifter or whatever, or you're interested, just look at Ash, and like having good momentum and movement in games are important to me, and I love how the character kind of skates like Shadow, so it looks fun. That's what you have to say about that.
So it's another one of those fucking do nothing games.
I actually don't even know what the gameplay is like really for Solar Ash yet, because I mean Hyper Light Drifter is not a do nothing game. You fight, you do shit, but
yeah, of course, but yeah. So I mean, all right then, because I actually only saw the image that you fucking dropped on like your fucking fleet, and then fucking I think of your header or something like that. The old.
I think I had it. In the fleet. I had it in the fleet at one point, but yeah, there wasn't too much gameplay videos. Okay, Mike Z.
Ooh, this son of a bitch, son. He need his ass beat.
Because this feels like a good segue because Hyper Light Drifter. So, you guys are probably familiar with Skullgirls. I hope so. It's my favorite game alongside Injustice 2, most likely. So, Skullgirls made by Lab Zero Studios. Well, Lab Zero Studios, right? I don't know if you guys have heard what's happening with that studio. They pretty much disbanded because the guy who kind of owns it or ended up owning it, he's racist. He's weird. What else is he? He's a fucking weird like predator type nigga. Like, I don't know, man. and as a result, the studios kind of died, and a lot of them have gone and moved on to make their own thing. But what's like truly hurt me is that these guys really, really loved Indivisible. They put so much work into that game. That's the only game I've probably ever followed. That's like a Kickstarter type, GoFundMe type game from the jump. I was following this shit like 7 years ago. So every update, I was posting GIFs. I posted, oh, this pirate lady looked crazy. Like they designed her. Like I was so invested. And one of the biggest things about that game that I was so excited for was that Ajna's incarnation. There was gonna be an update where you could use indie characters. Shovel Knight was gonna be in it. The Drifter from Hyper Light Drifter. Zachosaurus was gonna be in it. Anna from Skullgirls, I think. One of them from Skullgirls was gonna be in it. Red from Transistor was gonna be in it. Who am I forgetting? What's big? I'm forgetting a big one. I feel. I'm gonna kick myself in the foot for this, but like a lot of those characters were supposed to be in the game, but as a result of the company shutting down and whatnot, we won't get that update, and people have paid for it because it was like one of those, what do they call it, milestone limit, like when they went, oh, if we reach this much money, we'll make a PS4 port, right? So they had to reach that portion of the funding, and as a result of Mike Z's BS, we're just not gonna get it, and I'm devastated. You guys have no idea how excited that was to like use like our team of Ajna, Red, Shantae. That's what I'm forgetting. Shantae, and how for Shantae? I'm a fraud. But yeah, like
fake Sandler.
So like I was so excited, and they were nice because remember was it you that told me I didn't even know this was happening like that. I was like, wait, what? Pain. I think about pain about.
So, yeah, whatchamacallit? Who's it? Let me collect my thoughts. Oh, Mike Z, the fucking sweezel bastard. So yeah, apparently this fucking pencil neck is a veteran FG player, and he's the creator, co-founder of Lab Zero Games, right? They are most known for fucking Skullgirls and Indivisible. This man is a fucking weirdo. He's banned from fucking Evo. He's banned from ever being able to work on any Arc System games. I feel like there was another fucking tournament he's banned from. But pretty much what he did was, the first thing that he did, he was commentating on a Skullgirls tournament, and someone was in the corner. And if you're familiar with fighting games, corner jokes and whatnot, right? So I think the other commentator said something about the player was being suffocated, and then this fucking dickhead Mike Z said, would it be fair to say you can't breathe?
Oh, and this is after George Floyd. Yes,
absolutely,
that's exactly what it was. I remember now.
And of course, everybody with a fucking brain was like, bro, what the hell's good with you? What's wrong with you? He released a bullshit tweet longer. You know the gimmick, right?
Tweet longer?
Immediately. The almighty tweet longer. But
I'll post a picture so you guys can see what I was talking about, by the way. So keep going. So you can see.
So then after that is when he got slammed with 2 allegations, which is not even fucking allegations. It's full-blown fucking proof of him being a goddamn weirdo. So apparently there's a popular streamer here on this damn site, twitch.com, who messaged he thanking he for including girl on girl BDSM in Skullgirls, I believe. Mm-hmm. And instead of just keeping a push and saying, thank you or whatever, what may have you, inclusion out, right? He immediately gets to start asking her super fucking personal questions. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps going further and further, and he starts talking about freaking thirst culture and asking her how her parents feel about her decision on being a fucking streamer and shit like that. And he's just getting real fucking weird and making this woman feel ridiculously fucking uncomfortable. It's fucking sexual assault, right? He just don't know why he took that as a invitation to drive the fucking van off the cliff, but he did, right? So that was number one. Then number two, it got revealed by an ex-employee that he be wilding in the fucking workplace. That he came up to this employee just randomly multiple times and tell him the same fucking racist joke repeatedly.
Yeah.
And they're telling him like, yo, stop that. And they're like, son, that's not funny. That's offensive. Here's why it's offensive. And he just keep doing it, right? Once that happened, the rest of the actual employees that was still with Lab Zero Games was like, bro, yeah, he be violent. Like, he do be wild. He's still on that shit, right? So then it got to the point where the other co-creator of Lab Zero Games was like, yo, bro, you gotta resign because all this shit coming out and it's not allegation. They have proof. They caught you in 4K, right? He's like,
this the most HD shit ever.
He was like, nah, he was gonna resign, and the only way he gonna resign is pretty much a bunch of these freaking weirdo ass demands. Like, he was pretty much holding the entire company for ransom.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So then everybody who worked there was like, all right, you're not gonna leave? We're gonna leave then. Then they pulled the pro wrestling Noah and they all left. They left him with his ball, and that's it. So yeah, he owns Lab Zero Games, but he don't got no fucking staff. They all fucking left. And not only that, but now that this has come to light, other companies, other developers, other publishers flat out said, we not gonna do shit with Lab Zero Games. So he literally just sitting there with his ball now.
Yeah.
And that's what he fucking get. Now we just need a video of him getting his fucking ass beat.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking weirdo.
That's like, that's why I would have always been scared to go into these type of things, because you just can't talk to me like that. I would have been probably in a lawsuit now because I would have beat the shit out of him. I would have whooped his ass, and I'm like, this is why sometimes, you know, you gotta know yourself and you can't be putting yourself in these situations. But it's just unfortunate. Like, truly, it is. Like, I love that company. You understand? Like, I know it's just 2 games, but like, I think Skullgirls is so good, it's so well polished. It's one of the best fighting games I've ever played, and Indivisible was my favorite game of the year that it came out. And it, remember I was telling you, it was just like, it was just refreshing to not have any like padding in like a RPG. And oh man, it wasn't perfect or nothing, but damn, I had a good time playing it, and I was so looking forward to replaying that shit, man. Even Juan from Guacamelee, bro, started hitting you with the Lucha Libre. Are you crazy? I was so hyped. Oh my god, you don't understand. Because Guacamelee is raw. That's a good ass game.
Lab Zero had a lot of very talented artists and
Kinoko Cakes,
animators.
Yeah,
like I didn't even know that one of the dudes, I forgot his handle on Twitter, who's usually drawing fucking Mysterious Heroine X, aka Arturia, art of her. I had no idea he was actually part of fucking Lab Zero, like at all. Until he, you're back. Fantastic. We're gonna get you to answer that question about the easy mode just in a minute. Wait till I finish. I didn't know he was a part of fucking Lab Zero. So like, yeah, like Skullgirls is known for its fucking art and its animation, because they had so many fucking talented artists on that team. But it's being spearheaded by a fucking douchebag who needs his fucking ass beat with that fucking ugly ass facial hair he got.
Yep.
And it's really obnoxious because people like that, you know that they're wilding simply off the fact that it's the incident. They know that they could get away with it, because you know, if this was all close knit, this was like in person, like if this was like at an E3 or something like that, she would not be fucking acting like that. None of these dudes will be acting like that in fucking person. They only do that behind fucking closed doors or on the fucking incident where they're safe. So it's really unfortunate because Skullgirls and Indivisible looks absolutely amazing, plays absolutely amazing, had a huge fan base, and again with Indivisible, it was a Kickstarter funded game, right? So this was not backed by a publisher. They did not have no clients or sponsors.
Like,
this
people
game
who
exists
paid to get these characters in the game are not getting them.
Yeah. people, everyday people like you, me, and everybody else watching, paid money so this game could be developed. And they paid even extra money so there could be extras in the game. And now they're never going to get that because this fucking dickhead wants to be a dickhead. It's really just unfortunate, man.
And Nova was right. I do recall seeing Sonic Fox constantly trying to keep that man's head above water. That was a perfect analogy. like trying to kind of he's just kind of he's kind of antisocial. He might come off a little like he really because I know Sonic Fox loves that game. Don't know if he loves Indivisible, but I know those Skullgirls in Lab Zero, so it was just unfortunate. But yeah, Vince. I mean, go ahead. Vince. I'm a little pissed real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, he started barking right there. Come
No,
on,
okay.
son.
It's fine.
So basically, niggas talking about no need of easy mode. Easily one of the most pretentious, ridiculous shit I ever heard in my entire life. Like you said earlier, that was basically gonna be my whole driving point. Is nigga, most of these games give you a hard option. Just play that. What are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? Like, did these niggas play it on all 3 levels of difficulty or something? Like, and then most of the people who do that, I never feel like they be enjoying a lot of the games they play anyway, because they just be looking through the speed blitz through it the fastest amount of time. Like, nigga, like, you supposed to be playing the game. These niggas be like, oh, watch me play this game in like 30 minutes, even though it's supposed to be a 7-hour game. Like what the fuck? Like, ain't you supposed to enjoy the story? If they got one, aren't you supposed to enjoy the gameplay, try to figure out some cool shit you can and can't do and shit like that? That nigga just like, no, make it hard. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's super duper weird because it's some games like the fucking Souls boring game, they don't have a difficulty level. And back in the fucking SNES and NES days, a lot of those games didn't have fucking difficulty level either. They had a difficulty curve, or if they just flat out was hard altogether.
Yeah, but I'm cool with that. Like, I'm cool with a game, because to me that's still some level of a difficulty level. Because they say, okay, you're not that good at this game, we gonna make it a little easier for you. Like, that's cool. But first of all, it's just like, I don't like games that are not friendly to overall people anyway. Because a lot of these games, like, yeah, there's a lot of us grown men still playing and stuff like that, and that's because that's how much we love and how much of a good effect they have on our lives. But at the end of these games are supposed to be made for, a lot of these are supposed to be for, like, that age range starting from like 7, 8 to like 16, 17. And like, what no 10, 11-year-old speed blitzing having to play on the hardest difficulty? It's like they still have to have time to learn how to comprehend things that are going on, and they may not get the mechanics right away and stuff like that. It's like, just because you okay with playing the game at minus 0.75 speed don't mean everybody else is and shit like that. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, he was super duper cap. And I personally hate people. Hate is a very strong word. And yeah, I fucking used it. Hate people who like, you have to play this game on hard difficulty. No, I don't have to do shit. And you're not going to beat my ass if I don't either. Simple as that. And it's so weird to me.
I just want to enjoy the game. Playing at the hardest difficulty does not mean I'm going to enjoy the game. Especially if that's not one of the attractions of the game. Like, a lot of games that I play, I just want to find some level of balance between, like, I don't just beat everything in one playthrough without ever having to think about it or readjust what I'm doing. But I also don't want to get, like, why do people think, I guess these people never get frustrated, because I said, I don't think it's fun to want to break my controller and shit like that half the time that I'm playing the game. Like, don't they just give you a headache and make you turn the system off and stuff like that? Like, that's not a fun experience to me. If I'm constantly looking at my thing and screaming, getting a high-pitched voice and wanting to cut it off, that's not fun no more. Like, yeah, that's part of the experience. Sometimes we all get frustrated and stuff like that. But it has to be like a good balance between, like, all right, you know what? I'm going to just keep doing this until I beat it, but I'm still enjoying the process, or to the point of just like, this game just fucking stupid. Like, this is not fun. And then another thing is how these video game people, they do it. Like, you can make a game hard, but it just feels like you being cheated.
Artificial difficulty.
Yeah, it's like they not respecting the work you put in and stuff like that. No, they just gonna cheese you. That's not fun. Sports games obviously do that a lot, and you can probably think of some other example. But it's like I don't want to play a game where it cheeses me either. Like that's not fun. It's just like, oh, they know I got to this point of the game, so they gonna rev it all the way up, start getting killed in one hit and shit like that. Like, what's fun about that?
Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, everybody is not at the same freaking skill level, and we never will be. There are gonna be some people who way up there, some people right in the middle, some people just started, so on and so forth, and just completely condemn all those other people. It just do not make no sense. And for me, I like difficult games that give me a challenge, but when I have to start save whoring, meaning I save after every single little thing I do, which in turn heavily breaks up the flow of gameplay, I'm not having fun. If I have to stress every single time I run into an enemy, I'm not having fun. If I have to take pot shots every single time I want to kill something, I'm not having fun. That's not fun.
Right.
I'm playing the game in very small and slow increments. That's not fun.
Right. And then sometimes people gotta realize too, it's just you're not gonna be good at every game. Like, yeah, a lot of these things have some similarity and stuff like that, but there's just simply some things that you're not good at. And I'm not talking about just like fighting or sports games or something like that. There's even stuff in like the regular genre. Like there's sometimes you watch some things and you feel like it got a shitty shooting mechanic or something like that. Some people they'll nail it and get like every shot perfect. And the other people, it's just like, man, I'm not good at this. I'm just not good at this mechanic or how they want the camera to be panning this way. Like some people are not good at sensitivity spinning around and shit. Like just we all different.
Yeah.
So there should be some level of curve for all that.
And we spoke about this a bit before, but remember I told you, like, for me, if I'm playing a game and there's 10 games in the franchise in total and I'm on the 6th game, yeah, I'm probably gonna start that game in hard mode because I already know what I'm doing. I've played 5 iterations of this game. That's a little different. Like Kingdom Hearts or games, like if I could play on critical mode immediately, I would, because first of all, it's not a hard game at all in the slightest. On top of it being like the 80th entry in the series, it's almost the same fucking game. So, but yeah, you've been playing Breath of the Wild since 2018. Oh man, I took a week off of work and I beat that shit in 1 week. And then
right, yeah. And like I said, there's not some mechanics that don't make it easier. Like a lot of people's complaint in Kingdom Hearts 2, for example, compared to Kingdom Hearts 1, is that reaction commands made the game way too easy. Like on one hand, it was kind of cool to have that ability, like to change stuff and kind of have like those like cool little cutscenes. Yeah. But at the same time, it felt like it made the game far too easy. It's just like, oh, you know, if I just know how to avoid getting hit, do my magic, and just reaction command, like I'm gonna be done with this boss in no time. And I do agree with that. Kingdom Hearts 2 was way easier than Kingdom Hearts 1, other than Sephiroth.
He bodied me the first time.
Yeah, he's the only one that was like really.
He's different. Not even a hard boss. I just didn't know that was gonna happen. I said to the promised land. I saw a triangle for like 2 seconds. I'm like, wait, did I see that? It was floating. I was like, bro.
Yeah, but like playing Kingdom Hearts 1 without some other stuff, without like Valor Form and all that other shit, and just being that regular ass doofus nigga with the big shoes, a little bit harder.
But as you already said, like for me, I've played every single mainline Doom game. So naturally, if I'm playing fucking a Doom game, I could put it on something a little higher than normal because I played fucking all of them. Doom 1, Doom 2, Final Doom, Doom 64, Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, Doom 3, right? So I played every single fucking game of this series. So I could put that up a little bit higher. But if Doom Eternal is your very first game, this is one of the hardest, if not the hardest game in the entire series, I would not blame you for putting on freaking easy. Because on normal, the game is freaking making you clench your butt cheeks. The game is ridiculous, right? So it's like, he was super duper wilding with that. And I keep saying that, but y'all don't understand how much he was wilding with that. He really condemning, like, at least 50% of the freaking fandom. It don't make no sense to me. This shit is so weird. Like, I don't understand why people feel like hard difficulty is the only way. That there's this weird hype beast, more get good section of the fandom that thinks, oh well, if you're not playing on a difficulty where the second the wind blow you die, you're not gaming. Fuck out of here. Can you beat me in a fight? Leave me alone. Yeah, that's why I'm playing the game.
Trust me. But all right, let's end it off with this. Cyberpunk thing. We're excited. There's nothing else that needs to be said. It's 3 days left. But I guess this also this probably was probably a good time to talk about. This was probably us talking about the Temtem stuff and everything. But random battles and encounters, right?
Yeah. Sure.
I think they fucking suck. Right? And it's surprisingly, if I could, but maybe I'm wrong because I don't know. I wasn't a turn-based guy growing up or anything. Still not, but with any game that has it, I feel like not a single game has innovated the concept at all. It's just the only thing they could really tweak is encounter rate. But other than that, it's just you go in certain areas or certain dungeons and you take it, and then you just get into these fucking random battles. You never know what the fuck you're gonna fight. You never know which step is the step that's gonna activate, and I just can't stand it.
Well, Radiant Mythology, it had a really cool mechanic on the PSP.
Go ahead.
That it had the monsters actually out in the open.
Well,
you could see them and you tried to like run around them. Like, cause if you ran into them, it would still activate and trigger the fight thing. But it's like they were alive, like they were moving, they'd be part of that area. But if you ran into them, you had to fight. But if like you were low on health, yeah, you try to zig and zag your way through them, so you get the fuck up out of there.
Yeah, a lot of games do that now, and that's fine. I don't mind that. It's just, I just talk about the ones where literally you can't see nothing on the overworld. But there is either certain areas like the grass, like wild grass in Pokemon, like you're just in a cave, and that cave is just an entire area where
Well, it just felt unnecessary. It also felt like
why
it
still
happened
do that?
Way too often because it's not.
I don't think I'd ever need to see any game with random encounters in any part of the game. I honestly think putting down RNG and stuff in a lot of games is a good idea. I understand the reason why some of it does it because it's just for variety and stuff. But like seeing monsters on the overworld is perfectly okay. I like just keep it that way because I can't think of an interesting way to make turn-based like kind of fun. You feel me?
That's interesting. I mean, I didn't mind it, but I will say I just hated that it felt like it got to a point sometimes you would take 3 or 4 steps and run right into it, and that's just annoying. Like, it's just like, man, listen, I'm trying to explore. I shouldn't take 3 or 4 steps and run right back into another battle. Especially after a while, like kind of like the pattern of Pokemon, or for example, we play fucking Pokemon. You just know what's in that cave, and you're just like, bro, I'm tired of seeing this level 8 fucking Zubat trying to get me over. Like, I feel like maybe, like, I don't know, but like maybe I feel like if you're, let's say for example, you're going to a cave that you went to when you were like level 5, and like I feel like maybe you could make it more interesting that like the higher level your Pokemon are, the random encounter in certain areas should happen less and less, because the Pokemon should be able to sense that like your team is far superior in that area or something.
There's RPGs that do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Or they'll run away from you if you're in the overworld. Like they'll see you and you're too high level. They'll run away from you. Sorry, I'll let you go in a second. And then like with Bug Fables, there's literally a badge a medal you can put on that's called Bug Me Not. And what it does is, if literally the game deems that the monster is too weak, or like you will not get any experience. Like if you kill the 2 things that pop up, you get 1 like star point from each. And you can still get items from it, like item drops. So I like that.
Yeah. So what fucking Vince was talking about random mythology. Nah, that's not random encounters. Having the enemies on the world map is a random encounters because you could see them, and if you walk into them, that triggers a battle. That's not random. That's on purpose or by accident, right? Random encounters is when you're in a you on the world map or you in the dungeon. There's nothing else on screen besides you. And when you walk, the screen jiggle, it break, it's static, whatever, and you're forced to do a battle.
And it transitions like like that. Like that's what I meant.
Yeah, that's what fucking random encounters are, and I'm somewhere in the middle, right? So I don't like them like at all, but I'm not freaking on the extreme where I feel like no game should ever have it. I feel like just have it where the encounter rate isn't annoying. If it's not, if the encounter rate isn't like my Final Fantasy IV video that I showed you the other month, Yeti, where every step I'm taking, the screen jiggling, then I'm fine. I could deal with it. Would I go out of my way to play a game that has random encounters? No. But if it has it and the encounter rate isn't too fucking crazy, I don't mind dealing with it. I'm perfectly okay with that.
But you're dealing with it.
Yeah, I am. I'm dealing with it.
No matter what, though.
Yeah, it's not a feature I'm arguing for at all. If they never appeared again, I would have no issues with that. I would sleep just fine. Hell, I might even sleep better. But the only thing I'm saying is I could stomach them if you help me stomach it.
Fair enough.
If you make it annoying, I'm going to be miserable. But if the encounter rate is fine, then I don't mind. Now the thing is, if it's necessary, no, it's absolutely not necessary. We don't. And as you said in your video on YouTube, the whole point of why it was made was to be fucking cost efficient because cartridges could not have all of that fucking data on them, right? We've long moved past that. You can have these fucking monsters on the goddamn fucking world map. It don't matter. So we don't need this fucking feature. It's a silly fucking feature, but more tradition and all that other silly stuff, it's still here. But it's just it's fucking whatever. It's as long as it's not Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, like more times than not I can fucking deal with it. But I would much prefer to have enemies on the fucking world map. So I'm not forced to do fucking battle for no goddamn reason.
Exactly. 100%. Where did my camera go? Okay. Oh, my foot unplugged, whatever. Okay, so that was the last topic we had. I think what I'll do after this, like moving forward, we're ending, we'll take questions and stuff. I mean, if you have any questions, go ahead. Now's the time. I'll find my camera in a second. And for like the next, I'm thinking I might do one more for the year. I'll do one more, but I'm thinking every 3 weeks. You think that's too much or too little? Or want to do monthly, every 3 weeks? How often do you think we should do it?
I mean, just for this specific podcast?
Yeah.
I'll say, I could say Freaka once a month. That gives you enough time for actual news and shit to happen, for games to drop and whatnot. So we can actually have shit to talk about. Shit to talk about anyways.
Okay, so what we'll do this. We'll make it monthly. But if anything like significant or crazy happens, we'll have like impromptu episodes like out of nowhere. Yeah?
Yeah, I don't got no issue with that.
Okay, cool. We'll do it like that. Thank you everyone for joining us. It was good. I got to talk about the greatness of Temtem. Monster Crown. Fuck Pokemon. We're not messing with that. We don't need it. Throw it away. We tamers now.
Nintendo need to go out of business. They do not care about you. They will DMCA you. Hell, if they could put you in chains, they would do it. I promise you that. They do not like you. Stop supporting them hoes. Fuck Mike Z. He a bitch.
Yep.
Who else? Suit Bond Wild. Please drop Nirvana. I'm on my knees.
Please.
Please, man. I beg.
Oh man. All right. Yeah. Vince, you got anything you want to say? All right. Nice talk.
No, not at all. I don't have anything to add because your boy needs to play more games.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to aim next year to play somewhere around 15 to 20 games. That is my goal.
We out.